Welcome back to AM Northwest. So how do you feel when you turn your head or touch your toes? Your ability to do that comes from flexibility. So here to put us through a test to see how flexible we really are, because she's mean, we welcome back our health and fitness expert, Beth Oliver. Good to see you again, Beth.
Good morning, Helen.
Okay, so you know when I turn my head, it's when I'm driving. Oh, and then you feel it.
No.
Oh,
it's
for the
awful,
first time
right?
this morning. Oh,
right.
gosh. Okay. Yeah.
So we talk about how important it is to be
Yes.
flexible, but then sometimes we don't know if we really are or
Right.
not. So here are a couple little things that you can do just to check. So almost everyone's always complaining about their lower back being tight and their hamstrings being
Right.
tight. So the
Well, doesn't it, when you are flexible, you avoid injury, right? And also, I think it helps you with your balance as well.
Yeah, so flexibility is really the ability of the soft tissue to stretch.
Okay.
So it's important that your body can move without being bound up in tight. So
Sure.
yeah, flexibility is super important. So
Bound up, that sounds like me. Bound up. Okay, sure.
well, it's true.
Right.
And it feels exactly like what it sounds
Yeah.
like. So let's test our hamstring and low back flexibility.
Oh, okay.
We're going to have our legs almost straight, but the knees can be a little bit bent.
All right.
And then you're simply going to reach down. And I don't want you to feel too much strain, but it's okay to feel the sensation of stretching.
Okay.
And just see how close you can get your fingertips to your toes.
Yeah?
Wow, that's
Okay.
actually great, Helen.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
So how do you, what is the importance of basically being able to touch your toes?
So the importance isn't really that you can touch your toes. The importance is that the back side of the body is healthy, and just simple little things like when you drop something and you bend over to pick it up and
Oh.
you're not really thinking about it from like an exercise point of view.
Yeah.
That's when you're really going to feel it if you're not.
Because that's when you throw something out,
That's when
like
you
your back.
throw out your back,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah, because
right?
it's an instinct to go down and grab something, but if you're not flexible
If
enough.
you're not flexible,
Right.
then that's exactly right.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and you mentioned one of my other favorite little things, which is the mobility of your head and neck. So just standing still, just rotate to one side and then the other, and you'll likely feel differences side to side.
Yeah.
But if you've got enough mobility that you need in your head and neck, you should be able to get your chin just about over your shoulder. And if not, then that tells you that there's some areas for improvement. So
Yeah.
you just want to do some simple
I
movements.
feel like I should do that
those.
when I get in the car before I start the car.
Right.
Like that.
Right. And even if you have a rear view camera, you still need the ability
Well, yeah,
to look
you
over
still
your
need to look
shoulder.
over here and see who's coming up on this side.
That's exactly
Who's
right.
going to flip you off coming this way? That
I
kind of
know.
Thing. Okay.
So then what we want to do is check in with our ankle, knee, and hip mobility. So a simple test you would do kneeling, and just imagine that I was close to a wall. So if I had a wall here, what I'm going to do is see how close I can get my knee to the wall, but having my foot back at least 4 inches. So
Okay.
we do allow our knee to move forward of the toes, which is great. And what I really like is you're keeping your heel on the floor, which is what we want to do. So we can just shift back and forth and then get an idea of how far forward we can go. So this is really important because almost all of your standing movement comes from the ability of your
I have to
feet
do that.
to move, right?
I'm really feeling the stretch in the calf and in the ankle.
Right, and so for people who, especially probably most likely women who are
Yeah.
wearing heels and things like that, that's
Oh,
an
yeah.
area that can get really tight. So you want to make sure that you're doing mobility exercises. Even for someone who's a runner or a walker, you really need that.
I feel that I do when I go walking with my neighbor like 4 times a week or so, but I know when I wear my heels like I am today, to then switch into my walking shoes, it's a different animal.
It is a
So
completely
you definitely
different
need
animal.
to stretch them out.
You
yeah.
do, yep.
Okay.
And if you don't, that's when you start to feel those little
Shin splints.
splints that are really annoying on the front of the shin. So
No
all
kidding.
those things are related.
Yeah.
So of course now we need to look at the upper and middle back.
Okay.
So a simple test looks like this. We would lie on the floor. We would stack ankle, knees, and hips, so right kind of on top of each other. We bring our palms together, and then we want to reach up, almost like you're opening a book, and see how close you can get this hand to the floor. and that opposite shoulder to the floor.
Okay, I think I got it. Like this?
Yeah, so roll that
And
way.
then roll this way?
Okay, and then keep the body there and just open the top arm.
Oh, this way.
Yeah, and then see if you can ease the shoulder into the floor a little. Yes.
Okay.
That's excellent.
And then this is where the dogs come over.
Yes, you.
Now lick my face.
I have the same experience at my house.
Yeah. Oh,
Other way,
okay, I
palms
got
together.
it.
Yep. Yeah, and that's
That's
great.
a really good stretch.
And do you feel different side to side?
Oh, yeah.
I know for myself, on one side I can get my back completely flat. The other side, I'm just like nowhere near.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
It's a lower back stretch, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, wow. Okay.
Yep. So those are really good to do
Yeah.
when you're feeling kind of tight, if you've been sitting at your desk for a long time. And then the other thing, of course, everyone's always talking about hip mobility.
Okay.
So our hips can get really tight the more we sit in particular. So this one we make a figure 4 shape. And even this action of pressing the thigh away from the body is going to help. But we want to see if we can reach underneath the thigh in order to draw the legs in a little bit closer to get a nice deep stretch. Right, so that's good, Helen.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was pretty tight.
Try the other side and see if it's different side to side. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So as we know, hip mobility is one of the things that if our hips are tight, then everything up above gets tight and
Right.
everything down below gets tight.
Oh, that's so
right?
true.
Yeah.
That is so true. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Also, do you think when we talk about flexibility and balance, I mentioned earlier, what are some things that people can do? Because as we get older, we know it's so important to kind of make sure that we can balance ourselves, right? So do you have a couple suggestions for that?
Yeah, so some super simple things. One of my favorites is when you're brushing your teeth, just stand on one foot as you're brushing your teeth.
Oh, right.
So just imagine you're brushing your teeth.
Yeah. I don't know that I can do that. See, there you go.
Another simple one is even just standing, and it seems super simple, but just lift your heels up off the floor and then look over one hand. So just by changing your eye gaze, it changes the way your body
Yeah.
reacts. So all of those things are super good.
So when we talk about testing flexibility, if we can't touch our toes or we can't, do the neck thing,
Sure.
what should we do?
You do smaller versions of the same movement.
Okay.
So if I can't touch my toes, I'm going to bend my knees more.
Okay.
So I'm taking the stress off the soft tissue.
Okay.
And then I can just come forward here and then allow my head, neck, and shoulders to kind of hang over.
Okay.
So it's sometimes you want to avoid doing the things that you can't do or that feel kind of sticky.
Right.
But you want to find a version that you can do.
And obviously you will improve over time.
Of
right?
course,
Yeah.
right? So the more you do it, the better it is.
Yeah.
So same thing, just moving the head, neck, and shoulders,
Yeah.
rolling the shoulders around, things like that.
Gotcha. Those are great ideas. Thank you very much,
You're
Beth.
welcome.
All right, we'll put all that information for you on our website at k2.com, and we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.